Quick check at the freeways in Hawthorne,
Things are
West
backed up
105,
to
Prairie.
A traffic problem on I-10
West 10
eastbound
past
between
Overland, a
24th
wreck
Street
there
and
has you
University
slow
to
coming out of
3 left
downtown.
lanes.
Interstate 83 comes to a standstill when a responding police officer stops to assist one motorist and another car slams into the back of her police cruiser. Officer Teresa Rigby falls from the elevated interstate.
All of us have public safety responsibilities. In managing traffic incidents, we have an obvious obligation to the people involved, but we also have a responsibility to motorists to prevent secondary crashes and reduce delays. Finally, we must remember that our safety and that of fellow responders should always be a primary consideration. From the major multi-vehicle crash on a busy freeway to the disabled vehicle on the shoulder of a local street, the need for traffic incident management is apparent. The National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial is located in Washington, D.C. The FBI tracks officer deaths nationally. Over 24 years, 278 law enforcement officers were struck and killed by vehicles. That averages out to one officer killed each month. The Fire Service has a similar memorial in Emmitsburg, Maryland, where it honors those firefighters who have made the supreme sacrifice, including 5 killed in struck-by incidents in 2010. The International Towing Hall of Fame and Museum in Chattanooga, Tennessee, memorializes those killed performing the important tasks of that profession, an average of 1 every 6 days. An average of 23 highway workers were struck and killed by vehicles each month in 2010. There are consequences for everyone when incidents occur on our roadways. They may be minor inconveniences like being late for work or a missed appointment, or even more serious outcomes like being involved in a secondary crash as a result of an incident-related traffic congestion. To some degree, traffic incidents are inevitable, but definitely something that we need to manage better for the benefit of everyone involved, for commerce, convenience, and most of all, for safety. You likely have had many experiences from traffic incidents and working with fellow responders, some good and perhaps some that didn't go so well. It boils down to being on the same page to some extent. Traffic Incident Management, or TIM, is one way we can all pull in the same direction on an incident scene. The National Traffic Incident Management Coalition represents most national responder groups, and it has established a unified vision for TIM called the National Unified Goal, or NUG for short. That goal provides the framework for incident management for responders, responder safety, safe, quick clearance, and prompt, reliable, interoperable communications. Over the next few minutes, we are going to give you the basic tools to understand TIM, work together on the scene, and ultimately clear the scene quickly and safely. If we do our jobs well, everyone benefits. We can reduce incident duration significantly. We can reduce secondary collisions, which are also the ones where our incident responders are injured and killed. And we can improve safety for all motorists who may be driving near incidents. The Manual on Uniform Traffic Control Devices, or MUTCD, is a set of national guidelines used by transportation engineers and other highway safety professionals to ensure that signs, signals, and markings have consistency throughout the United States. A section on temporary traffic control zones applies to traffic incident management areas. Let's start by defining what constitutes a traffic incident. A traffic incident is an unplanned, randomly occurring traffic event that adversely affects normal traffic operations. You can see by the definition that an incident can vary widely from a stalled vehicle on the roadway shoulder, roadway debris, or a multi-vehicle crash with injuries that block several lanes on a major highway. Even a routine traffic stop can be a type of an incident, since it is an unexpected event to a passing motorist. Minor incidents are those that are cleared in less than 30 minutes, like minor crashes, roadway debris, traffic enforcement actions, and other events that impact roadways briefly. Most of what you encounter will fall into this arena, and it will likely be just handled by you. Intermediate incidents require a bit longer to handle and would require up to 2 hours to clear. Many minor crashes would likely fall into this category. Again, it may be just you as a single responder, or perhaps someone else from police, fire, or towing to help briefly. Major incidents are the ones that take more than 2 hours to clear. In many of these instances, you are likely to have more responders and the help of a public works or DOT with traffic direction and diversion. Everyone sharing a common description of an incident scene reduces confusion among responders. Now we have a working definition of incident types. Let's go over some basic TIM concepts. A traffic incident management area is a temporary traffic control zone. It resembles a construction work zone, an advance warning area, transition area, activity area, and termination area. Before the scene is upstream, and past the scene is downstream. The area where the crash is located is the activity area, and the emphasis of the next few minutes. Your safety is the very first ingredient in successful traffic incident management. Let's take a look at how to best achieve safety, regardless of your role as a responder. Like any first responder, as you approach the scene, you should be sizing things up and determining where to park. Every scene is different. Not all responders will be present, so there is not a one-size-fits-all approach. But if we park in a consistent way, it accommodates other responders and ensures maximum flexibility. Flexibility means that we make adjustments while at the scene, as the scene evolves. It is fluid and adaptable to whatever is required. It is not important who arrives first, but how we arrive that dictates safety. Since fire and rescue have the largest vehicles, they can help form a protective block at an incident. This gives them the closest position to the scene for fire suppression and patient extrication. It also prevents a motorist from entering the scene unexpectedly. Next, emergency medical services responds just downstream of the incident. Since they load patients from the back, this gives them proper placement for quick response to the scene and easy exit after patient treatment without being blocked by other responders. A lane plus one concept is standard to provide a sufficient lateral buffer for fire response and to give emergency responders a safe working condition during extrication, patient care, or firefighting. As conditions change at the scene, every effort should be made to minimize the impact to travel lanes. Here is an example of where we might park fire apparatus. A proper buffer should be provided between the engine and the incident. The protective block should only block as much of the travel lanes as necessary. In this case, you can see the lane plus one concept applied. Law enforcement has a few options at the incident. Since motorists tend to pay special attention to their emergency lights, they can park behind the fire truck on the shoulder to help slow motorists. They may assist in blocking multiple lanes by parking their vehicle at the furthest upstream taper location. As additional officers arrive, they should begin traffic control duties further upstream prior to any traffic backup or queue to minimize the chance of secondary crashes or at key locations along detour or alternate routes. If additional officers are required at the scene, their vehicles should be staged downstream of the incident on the same side of the road and in the same direction of travel. This is also the area where towing and recovery operators, along with other responders such as the media, should stage their vehicles and equipment. For all responders, parking vehicles on the opposite side of the roadway should be avoided if at all possible. This type of split-scene response causes responders to cross traffic and can also add to unnecessary congestion, distraction, and traffic issues. For the same reasons, responding from the opposite direction of travel should be avoided where possible, since this increases the chance of secondary incidents along with doubling the amount of congestion. When the lane plus one is no longer needed, drop back and just block the involved lane. Remember, when an incident occurs on a shoulder, the shoulder is treated as the involved lane, so only one lane of traffic is affected. From the responder's perspective, safety apparel no longer only involves bulletproof vests for law enforcement or non-reflective turnout gear for fire personnel. A high-visibility traffic vest shall be worn by all responders not directly involved in fire suppression at the incident scene on a roadway. A minimum ANSI 107 Class 2 vest is required to meet the visibility requirements for roadways. Law enforcement can opt for the ANSI 207 Public Safety Vest, which provides a shorter length for better access to belt equipment. There is no mandate that traffic cones are to be carried by police, though they are required for newer fire vehicles. Cones and other channelizing devices can help you communicate direction to approaching cars, so they are beneficial. Consult your agency's SOP on when to carry and use them. The concept of using cones, road flares, reflectors, or other channelizing devices is to taper cars away from the roadway obstruction and into available lanes. Remember, none of these things can stop a car or replace the need for situational awareness. A properly positioned patrol vehicle or fire truck, along with a handful of cones and other devices, is likely all you may have. Make the most of what you have. However, if you're going to be there for any length of time, call for assistance from Public Works, DOT, or other agencies to establish a safer temporary traffic control zone. As for lighting, the following rules of thumb should be observed. More lighting is not always better. Once traffic goes through a taper and is safely merged, having every vehicle's lights operating can cause confusion, vision impairment, gawking, congestion, and other safety issues. Care should be taken to never blind approaching motorists from either direction. If not needed, front-facing lights should be reduced or eliminated to lessen the impact on traffic approaching from the opposite direction. In many states, there are laws to assist us in performing our duties. Move It, Clear It, and Fender Bender laws require motorists to move vehicles involved in minor, non-injury incidents out of traffic lanes. Safe quick clearance laws give law enforcement and other agencies the ability to efficiently utilize resources to open roadways without incurring liability when public safety is at risk. They can be used for anything from towing abandoned vehicles during inclement weather or evacuations to dragging overturned tractor-trailers out of the roadway or utilizing non-standard towing rotation practices or Department of Transportation equipment to quickly clear travel lanes. Push bumpers are a simple addition to patrol cars to move vehicles and minimize damage. Remember to check your agency's activation protocols and its liability. Size things up as you approach the incident scene itself. Ask yourself what can be done to make this response go as safely and quickly as possible. Can the incident be moved to the median or shoulder or to a parking lot or other safe location? Will you wait for all other agencies to accomplish their tasks before you even begin collecting information? Or will you seek ways to work concurrently, thus saving time without interfering with other operations? Will you wait until your investigation is complete to make contact with towing or other resources? Or will you contact resources early on to allow them to respond with the equipment required? To expedite the removal of deceased victims, some jurisdictions have implemented a system to give the medical examiner an early notification of a fatality prior to them actually being needed at the scene. Will you coordinate with Public Works or other transportation agencies to install lane closures early on? Or will you wait until traffic backs up and secondary incidents begin to occur? Remember, most transportation agencies now have resources from traffic management centers to overhead and portable message boards that can be quickly programmed with appropriate messages to coordinate with the media, trucking companies, 511 toll-free phone systems, mobile applications, and other resources to alert the motoring public of an ongoing incident. Typically, all it takes is a call to dispatch to mobilize these resources. Generally, the sooner other responders are contacted, the more congestion and secondary incidents can be reduced, and the safer the work environment for emergency responders will be. Regardless of your role, you have a lot of things to do and decisions to make at the scene of a traffic incident. Now, let's talk about communication at incident scenes. Like this pit crew, each of you has a specific job to do. While all responders have their own jobs, they have one overriding objective: to get in and out as quickly and as safely as possible. Pick any one of these individuals. Put yourself in their place in terms of your assignment. Their job is to win the race. Be safe, be as efficient as possible, and work as a team. Our job is to clear the incident. Be safe, be as efficient as possible, and work as a team. Both have one thing in common: properly communicating with one another to achieve the task at hand. Use plain language, not radio codes, so you can be understood. For example, knowing that a crash is against a median wall allows other responders to be in the left lane, thus reducing their need to cross lanes unexpectedly. Relaying that the incident is on the westbound side 1 mile beyond an interchange keeps responders from unnecessarily blocking traffic on the opposite side of the road. A standardized lane description system has been developed to assist responders. Left and right shoulders are called by those names, and travel lanes are numbered from the inside outward, 1, 2, 3, etc. On-ramps and off-ramps are referred to as such. If there is an adjacent service road, its lanes have their own numbering, from the inside outward, starting with 1. The next critical communication tactic is properly painting the picture for the responders. All too often, resources are simply requested. Wouldn't it be more effective to describe the scene so agencies can determine for themselves what resources are required? Having to respond to additional or different equipment only delays incident clearance and contributes to congestion, travel delays, difficulty in response, and most importantly, the safety of both responders and the motoring public. The other critical time to communicate is at the incident scene itself. Properly using incident command procedures, a coordinated response can be initiated to achieve the goals as safely and efficiently as possible. By utilizing the unified command system, everyone is kept abreast of the goal and how operations can achieve the goal without impacting others. Just like the NASCAR crew, incident responders need to act in a coordinated fashion, no matter if an incident is a minor one of less than 30 minutes involving only law enforcement and a tow operator, or a major one of more than 2 hours involving multiple agencies and affecting multiple jurisdictions. Sound traffic incident management practice makes us all far more efficient and effective, but most importantly, they keep everyone safe, reduce delays, minimize motorist frustrations, promote commerce, and save time, money, and fuel. You can manage to survive at a traffic incident by following some guiding principles. Let's recap the more important ones. Wear your retroreflective traffic vest day and night. Park all vehicles in their appropriate location. Watch traffic and reassess the scene for changes. Reposition vehicles as needed to make room for other responders. Use lighting appropriately. Dim headlights unless they are needed to illuminate the scene at night and direct all lights away from oncoming traffic. If available, use traffic cones and other traffic control devices to protect the scene, warn motorists and guide them to open travel lanes. Block as few lanes as needed to protect the scene and to guide motorists. Open travel lanes as soon as possible. Consider moving the incident and all responding vehicles to the shoulder, or preferably completely off the roadway to an exit or parking lot. Clear the scene as soon as possible. Leave when you're no longer playing an active role. Understand the roles and procedures of others at the scene. Work as a team and communicate regularly. Keep dispatch informed, request other resources, and involve transportation agencies if needed. This video is designed to provide awareness to incident first responders. There are classroom training courses and online learning products being rolled out now to provide more detail about TIM and even to practice the concepts. Keep an eye out for the National Traffic Incident Responder course brought to you by the Federal Highway Administration. You can also network with other responders in your area and around the nation by participating in the TIM network. More information is available at timnetwork.org.